Do you know the reason behind the hole in a spaghetti spoon? Does the QWERTY keyboard slow down a typist's speed? And what about holes in pen caps? Is their purpose to make the ink dry up faster and force you to buy more pens or something else? Welcome to Hidden Facts. Today we're discussing 8 amazing facts about everyday items and things that you would be surprised to know about them. Number 1. High heels were originally men's shoes for horse riding. So back in the 10th century, someone had a brilliant idea to put a heel on a shoe so that horse riders could keep their feet more securely in the stirrups. And it caught on like wildfire. Before long, armies of men were riding into battle wearing heeled shoes. Jump ahead a few centuries to the 17th century, and owning a horse was a huge status symbol in Europe. And if you were really fancy, you would wear shoes with high heels. It was like the medieval version of driving a Mercedes-Benz. These heels were all the rage at the time, and both wealthy men and women were wearing them. But eventually they went out of fashion for men. It's funny how fashion works like that, isn't it? One minute something's all the rage, and the next it's out of style. Number 2. Pen caps have holes to prevent choking. Have you ever taken a closer look at the top of a cheap ballpoint pen like a Bic Crystal? You know, the ones that have a clear barrel and a cap that matches the ink color inside? Well, if you have, you may have noticed that there's a little gap up there. Now, some conspiracy theorists out there have suggested that Bic put that gap there on purpose to make the ink dry up faster and force you to buy more pens. But that's just not true. In reality, the reason for that gap is much more clever than any conspiracy theory. So if a little kid were to accidentally swallow that bright, colorful cap, the gap at the top would make sure that it didn't completely block their airway. That way the child wouldn't choke to death. It's actually a really smart safety feature that Bic included in their design. Number 3. The reason behind the hole in the spaghetti spoon. Next time you're using a spaghetti spoon, you know, the one with the big tines that's perfect for separating those individual strands of pasta, take a closer look. Do you notice a round single hole at the center of it? Now, you may believe that the hole is only for draining excess water when you remove the spaghetti from the pot, but it's actually there for something much more specific than that. You see, that hole is the perfect size for a single serving of spaghetti. Yep, you heard that right. The amount of dry spaghetti that fits through that little hole is exactly 1 serving. So you don't have to guess anymore about how much you need. Just fill up that hole and you're good to go. It's a pretty handy little feature. So go ahead and try it, and then let us know if the serving was enough for you. Number 4. The QWERTY keyboard was designed to slow down typist speed. Have you ever looked at your computer keyboard and questioned why the letters appear to be so scattered? It might look random, but actually there's a reason for it. Back in 1872, a design called QWERTY was created for use on typewriters. It's called QWERTY because the letters in the top left row spell out that word. At the time, typists were actually typing faster than the machines they were using could keep up with. This caused the typewriters to jam, and it was a huge problem. So in order to solve this problem, the QWERTY design was created. It actually slowed typists down a bit, but it resulted in fewer jams and saved time in the long run. Nowadays, we don't really have the same problem anymore. But because we're all so used to the QWERTY keyboard layout, we still use it today. We even use it on our cell phones. It just goes to show how familiar and comfortable we can become with something, even if it's not necessarily the most efficient option. Now, can you guess what the other easy layout was? Tell us in the comment section if you have any ideas. Number 5. IKEA product names follow a pattern. Have you ever noticed that all of the furniture at IKEA has names instead of numbers? It's actually pretty cool when you think about it. The founder of IKEA, who was dyslexic, came up with the idea to use names to identify each item of furniture. That way it would be easier for customers to remember and recognize the different versions of each piece. So if you've ever put together an IKEA bed, you might have noticed that it's named after a Norwegian city. Couches are named after Swedish towns, kitchen tables after Finnish tourist attractions, and chairs after male first names. It's a pretty clever way to make sure that your first Ronska or whatever piece of furniture you get stands out in your mind. And it's just one of the many unique things that make IKEA such a popular and beloved brand. So go ahead and check your IKEA furniture and let us know what names they have. Number 6. Electric fans don't cool the air. Have you ever heard the myth that running a fan in a room will cool it down? Well, it turns out that's not entirely true. If you were to place a thermometer directly in front of a fan operating at full speed, you wouldn't see any change in temperature. But that doesn't mean the fan isn't making you feel cooler. In fact, the fan is helping to cool you down by increasing the airflow around you. As the air moves across your skin, it accelerates the evaporation of any moisture, such as sweat, which lowers the temperature of the wet surface. So even though the air around you may not be any cooler, you'll still feel like it is because the fan is helping your body cool down. And while it's true that leaving a thermometer too close to the moving parts of a fan may increase its temperature, that's not something you need to worry about during normal use. And if you think otherwise, why not drop the reason in the comment below? Number 7. Amazon box sizes aren't random. Have you ever ordered a small item from Amazon, such as a book or a pen, and it arrived in a box that seemed excessively large? It can be frustrating, but there's actually a good reason for it. Amazon uses sophisticated shipping algorithms that take into account the dimensions of both the item being shipped and the other packages headed in the same direction. By doing so, they can save on transportation costs and have a lesser impact on the environment by fitting multiple packages onto a delivery truck. So even though it may seem wasteful to use such a large box for a small item, Amazon's shipping algorithm is actually quite efficient. And who knows, that big box may have helped protect your item from damage during transit. Now tell us what kind of stuff you've received in big boxes. Number 8. Extra holes in your shoes. Have you ever noticed those extra holes at the top of your running shoes? You might have wondered what they're for. Well, those holes are actually designed to give you more options for tying your shoes. They come in handy if you need to compensate for an injury or an awkward stride by customizing your shoe's fit. By using those extra holes, you can adjust your laces to make your shoes more comfortable and supportive. And the best part is, you can also get creative with your lacing pattern to make your shoes look unique and stylish. So next time you do some creativity with those laces, make sure to let us know with a pic in the comments section. Would you like to learn more amazing facts about anything else? Let us know in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe so you can enjoy the excellent content we send your way.